Hello and welcome to Well Life with Linda Harris. How are you guys doing this evening? Please pardon me if I clear my throat because I was out yesterday evening working in my garden. How many of you have a garden? I plan on doing some canning this year, hopefully some dehydrating. Maybe I'll try some freeze drying too. I've got to find out a little bit more about that, but I am enjoying my garden. However, I have a lot of allergies, so sometimes they do affect me. Got my Epionce cup here today. Wanted you guys to see Epionce on there. Remember that skincare line that I've been sharing with you? Wonderful, wonderful skincare line developed by a dermatologist who is still practicing actually, and he wanted to create something that was better for your skin than your prescription Retin-A's and things that can be irritating, and so he did that. I've been using that skincare line for quite a while in my business. And then I've also been using it myself, and all of my clients are coming back in and talking about how wonderful it is on their skin, how much they enjoy it. So I just want to let you know, if you need something good for your skin, Epionce right here. Let's see, how do I turn that? Epionce. That's a good line. Well, I wanted to share some things with you tonight. Always you can go to my website, wellifeinstitute.com. And I'm going to kind of direct you to that tonight because I want you to go to the second tab there whenever you go to it that says Healing Therapies, because tonight I'm going to talk about some healing therapies. One of the things I want to talk about is light therapy. And we think of light therapy as just something that has a light that we can see, but you're going to find out a lot of information about that tonight. So light therapy, or it's called phototherapy, is the science of phototherapy, which is the science of light therapy, uses light to improve the health and the body. So why, with light therapy for wellness, what ends up happening is when you're using these different healing therapies that involve light therapy, you're taking care of your body without using drugs, without having chemicals enter into your body. And so you can achieve a lot without having side effects. So a little bit of information about light therapy. For centuries, light therapy has been used to improve health. Light therapy works by using a mechanism to reflect or shine light into the body. Now, I was reading something the other day about light therapy, and it was saying, it began 100 years ago. And I think they're a little bit off with their history because 2,000 years ago, in the ancient Greeks, they actually had a center that they used for studying the effects of different colored lights on the body. They would take these prisms or glass type things and shine them in the sun, different colored ones, and reflect them on the body and study how it affected the body. So even back then they understood the benefits of light therapy and what it could do for you. So there's light therapy that we can see, just like the Verjus low laser light therapy that I use for inch loss in my clinic. That's something we can visibly see. Or if you're getting, LED therapy light done on you, you can visibly see the light. We have to wear things to protect our eyes from those things. But did you know there's invisible light? There's invisible light therapy, and you have invisible light in radio waves, microwaves, infrared light, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays. All of those things to the human eye are invisible, but it doesn't mean they're still not there and not working. So we use a lot of these things. If you look at our Healing Therapies tab, all light, whether it's visible or invisible, is a kind of a wave. So think of a lake or a pond or lake or something in your backyard. You know how you would go out and throw a stone and it would skip, but the water would ripple? Well, that's kind of what happens with light waves, only the ripples are electric and magnetic fields instead of the water, which is why they're called electromagnetic waves. So infrared waves are electromagnetic waves, which with longer wavelengths. So you have shorter wavelengths and then you have longer wavelengths. And here's some more information. Talking about my garden, we have got a rabbit, we call him Pepito, in our garden, in our yard, our backyard. We have a flower garden and we have a vegetable garden. And he just goes all around different times of the day in our yard, chewing on different grasses that he knows has the nutrients that he needs. And I was snapping some pictures of him yesterday because he's so precious, and he's gotten used to us, so he doesn't run when we're out around him. But talking about animals, many animals see wavelengths of light in a different way than we do. their eyes detect the wavelengths differently. Did you know that bees and butterflies, for example, can see ultraviolet light? Their eyes are tuned to shorter wavelengths. So by having shorter wavelengths that their eyes are tuned to, they can see different types of light. I'm still trying to figure out how they tested that with bees and butterflies, but I'm sure they know what they're talking about. And did you know also that fish and snakes can perceive longer wavelengths than humans can see? So they can detect infrared light, whereas we can't see the infrared light. Our bodies can feel it normally through heat. So that's how that works with us. We offer infrared therapies, biomats, those type of things, and you can order things for yourself to use at home too if you're wanting to do something on a regular basis. But we use biomats and a sauna capsule. Our sauna capsule also has a biomat along with that. And we use that to help with many things, and some of the things that it can benefit with is increased blood circulation. It helps with pain relief, with sore muscles and relaxation. And there's so many more benefits to that. It's hard to just name them all. Excuse me just a minute, because see, there goes those allergies. So one of the things that can help with is air purification. Some biomats release negative ions, and we do use negative ions in our therapies too, in our biomats, in our oxygen therapy, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But when they release negative ions, it helps purify the air from, air particles like dust, pollen, pollutants. Seems like I might have needed to have one of those biomats on my shoulder when I went out in the yard yesterday. But it also helps with mood enhancement. Negative ions are believed to increase serotonin levels. So by increasing serotonin levels, they improve mood and overall sense of well-being. So that's another benefit of a healing therapy. Helps in reducing stress and just making us feel better all over. Now, our biomat that we have has amethyst crystals in it, and amethyst crystals are believed to have calming effects. But they also help enhance the penetration of the therapy that you're getting, the light therapy, which we can't see. They're enhancing that penetration, and it just gives so many benefits. I have clients that come in with arthritis, severe arthritis, or they've got, serious back issues. Maybe they've had surgeries, or maybe they, don't want to have surgeries, and they're trying to help their body feel better. So by using things like the biomat and the heat, it helps in their overall wellness. Like we said, circulating the blood to help with the blood flow, which helps go to the areas in the body that it needs to go to so that the body can heal itself. Some of the potential benefits are detoxification as well. The heat and increased circulation promotes sweating in some of these, like our sauna capsule, which has a biomat, but it also is a sauna capsule or sauna to help you eliminate toxins. We've done, herbal body wraps for as long as I've been in business. That was one of the first body services that I offer, and I do my own blend of herbal body wraps. But you can also do, that one results in inch loss, but it's a temporary inch loss. But if you're wanting to go for something for pain and you're wanting to remove toxins from your body, you can't do any better than doing something like the sauna capsule or a biomat. And it helps improve your immune system. Did you know if we're doing these things on a regular basis, our immune system will improve? Because when our body's working like it's supposed to, all of these natural things that we do, they're stimulating something in your body to help you. And so that's why we're offering those. We like to offer them along with, any of our coaching and counseling services we do if we're working on people with post-surgery massage. There's so many benefits to adding these type of modalities to massage therapy and to helping you even with lifestyle changes, because your results are better when you're adding these things to that. Another thing is a lot of athletes, if they've, worked out real hard or overdone their muscles, it helps with them in, recovery of their muscles and connective tissue, or if there's an injury. So that's another thing. So what we call Biomats or infrared technology is one of the healing services, again, that we offer, and I encourage you all to try that. And look, if it's something you like, you can even have that in your own home. I encourage people to have these things to help benefit your health and wellness on a daily basis. And I know I mention it every show that I do, but I'm so passionate about this, and I won't go into a lot of detail. However, I am going to tell you again, thermal imaging uses infrared light, which is another form of light therapy. And now I call that therapy because, look, it's a way for us to look into our body. It's a way for us to find out what's going on physiologically right now in our body, so that we can prevent things from getting worse, or we can know what we need to change in our body and what we need to address. And it also gives us a baseline that even our doctors can go by. It just gives us a lot of information. And to me, that's therapy, because it takes stress off of you, not worrying so much about, is this going on in my body or what's happening. Now, by itself, it is not a diagnostic tool. Just like most other exams or x-rays or anything you do, they are not standalone diagnostic tools. Pretty much you have to have something else that goes along with that for it to be diagnosed. If it's cancers, it needs to be a biopsy, but any other diseases, they're not just going to take one thing and say, oh, this is what they have and we've got to do something about it. They have to, have several sources or tools that they use to find out. And thermography is one of those tools. And I'm happy and I'm proud to offer that, to the communities and to people, so that they can have something they can use for their self. One of the most popular sources of healing therapy that I have at Well Life, everybody loves this. I use it in skincare. I use it in health and wellness, and it is just a wonderful service, and it is called oxygen therapy. And it uses, again, the negative ions. So we do oxygen therapy in facials to enhance the skin. We have part of the device helps spray these serums into the skin, and we use oxygen with that so that it can penetrate. Now what we do after that is then there's an oxygen dome placed over them, so you're really getting the benefits of our regular oxygen therapy along with the oxygen for facials, and it enhances the skin. It makes the skin have a better color. It helps the skin have a better appearance. It gives you this plumpness in your skin, and my clients love that. It looks like it's time for us to take a break, and when I come back, I'm going to tell you some more exciting news about oxygen therapy, and it's going to make you want to try it. So we'll be right back.
If you enjoy hand-picked strawberries, look no further than Bozeman Farms, with 4 locations this summer for your convenience. The first at Bozeman Farms on Highway 97 East, just off Cool Spring Road, a second on South Winston Avenue across from the fire station, a third by the Shell gas station on Bienvenue Road, our 4th location at Ace Hardware in Tarboro. Fresh-picked strawberries as well as Mama Jean's homemade strawberry jam. And don't forget our sweet potatoes, all available for purchase at each location. Call 252-883-6175 for any questions or directions. Bozeman Farms, from the field to your table at great prices.
We're in our 18th year of practice at the Hammer Chiropractic Center, and we've seen over 15,000 different people in the Rocky Mount area. 40% of headaches actually come from a neck problem. Many patients come in taking multiple aspirin, over-the-counter medications and such a day, and we can get you to stop doing that and actually fix the problem so the headaches don't arise anymore. A lot of people think chiropractic hurts. It does not. Most of the people come in and they feel great when they leave.
Okay, so here we are back, and we were talking about oxygen therapy. I do the oxygen therapy facial, and then we have other facials and skincare treatments that include oxygen therapy within it. So there are different facials you can get using oxygen therapy, which is wonderful for your skin. But I wanted to share with you some of the benefits of oxygen therapy that we're using in our healing therapies. I told you about the dome, the oxygen therapy dome that we use, and it uses negative ions as well. And whenever we place that over a client and it just helps them relax and they breathe better. I'm what I call a non-breather. Have you ever met a non-breather? We seem to hold our breath while we're doing things and we forget that we're supposed to be breathing. Now, obviously, there's an automatic response in our body that's going to kick in and make us breathe so we don't pass out. But with anxiety at its heights, with stress at its heights, and as busy as we are, a lot of us who are focusing on so many other things, we will forget to breathe. Sooner or later, it causes issues physically, let's just say in our back, our spine, our chest, because we're not breathing. Your lungs are connected to your heart. Maybe you can have some pain in your chest. And a lot of times, even with clients that I work on, when I'm working on massage therapy, if they're having issues, their ribs will be so tight. When I do massage, I like to be able to put my fingers between each space, between each of the ribs in the rib cage. And if I can't place my fingers, because my fingers aren't too big and they're not too small, and if I can't place my fingers between that rib cage when I'm working on them, I know that they're not breathing correctly. I know that they're not getting enough oxygen to their bodies. Sometimes I have clients that come in and you know, they work all day, they've got a household to take care of, they've got other things to do, and they just don't take out the time for themselves like they should. And when they finally do, they come for their massage, and the whole world has been on their shoulders. And literally, you're supposed to go to a massage and relax and feel good, but they'll come in and literally, some of them, their arms are locked. I'll try to remove their arm to work on it, and it's locked, and I can't move it. So one of the things I've started doing when we added oxygen therapy with these clients, sometimes I will start them face up. I will put the oxygen dome on top of them and turn that on so that they can get good pure oxygen and negative ions. And the reason I do that is because it begins to let their muscles relax. They can calm and relax. It allows me to be able to work on the muscles better. It opens up the rib cage better so that they can breathe, not just for their massage, but as they leave, they feel better and they're just refreshed. You know, we're breathing so many toxins. There's so many things out there that we're taking every day, and it is an opportunity to have some good, fresh air, oxygen, and what we need to help us breathe and relax. It does have an effect on our bodies if we're not breathing correctly. I never knew I was a non-breather until I had a girl working for me one time, and I was sitting at my desk, and she's a few tables over, and she said, "Miss Linda, breathe." And I said, "Well, I am breathing." And she said, "No, I've been counting, and you're not breathing. You're holding your breath." And I'm so glad she told me that. That was many years ago, about 20 years ago, actually. And she told me that, and I began to focus on my breathing. And so I'm aware that that's an issue for me, so that sometimes I'll take time to just stop and meditate and breathe. And it's better for my health. It makes me feel better. So, you know, light therapy, infrared therapy, oxygen therapy, thermal imaging, massage therapy, skin care, coaching, all of those to me are healing therapies. Everything we do is a healing therapy, I believe, at Well Life, because we're concerned about your health. My job and my goal is to teach and to educate and to help you find things, to help you discover what you can do to help yourself feel better. I just think it's important, you know, and the reason I wanted to talk about this today was because I want to make us aware of what can harm us and what can help us. And, you know, we should be able to do things that they used centuries ago, years ago even, that did benefit the body. So why did we stop doing those things? You know, there's things that's natural in this world, and we've learned how to harness those into things that we can use today. And it's very beneficial for us. And it's a way to do that without putting drugs or chemicals in your body. You know, we don't want to be doing that all the time and having side effects. Is there a place for drugs and chemicals? Of course there is. Sometimes we have to have a medication that our doctor prescribes to help our body. But do you know how many people I work with that have high blood pressure or on the verge of some really high blood pressure, and they will be given blood pressure medicine or cholesterol medicine or whatever it is they need for what's going on with them. And they may not even really be at the high number yet. But now they're calling it in the doctor's offices preventative medicine. Yes, we should do preventative. But first, try something natural. Don't go against your doctor. Don't go tell your doctor I told you not to do it, because I never encourage people to go against your doctor. But what I encourage you to do is to be aware, to be proactive, to do your research, and to know. Be the owner of your own health and wellness. Use the power you have with yourself. Don't give that away to someone else. My goal always is to educate you and help you improve your health and wellness. It's just so important to me. Another thing I wanted to talk about today, since I've got a little bit of extra time, is I read all these different medical reports and things. I'm a researcher by nature. I enjoy it. If I could be up 24/7 researching and studying things, I would just be happy. But my body needs rest, and so I have to rest sometimes, and I have to work with clients. But I do love research, and we've all been seeing a lot of information about the COVID shots when we were told to get COVID shots. And some people, there's been, there's been damage caused by the shots. Obviously we know there was not enough time spent for them to research and do things, and now there's lawsuits out there, there's different things going on, and some people may consider this taboo to talk about. But again, this is another place where I encourage you to be proactive and be the owner of your own health and wellness. You still are in charge of your health and wellness. You just need to take that charge and be more aware, so that when you are going to your doctor, you can discuss things with them. And a good doctor is going to listen to you and talk to you, and so that you can decide the best treatment for you in anything. But getting back to these COVID shots, there's a lot of information they're finding out now where it has been detrimental. Someone that's very, very close to me lost their grandfather because of a COVID shot. A few minutes after the COVID shot, they were rushed to the hospital, went in a coma, and died. And it's just broke my heart for them. And we've heard stories after stories after stories. And children who have, I was reading one thing earlier today, some statistics, and now again, I'm not 100%, but it said out of 30 children that were getting the shots, when they finally lowered it down to your youngest ages, there would be 30 children who died to one. Now, I think that sounds like a really high number, but they're talking about not just they got the shot and died, but it created other things that caused health issues in them. They're finding a lot now that, cancers are developing more, and they believe that's because of the COVID shot, strokes, heart attacks. And again, that's another foreign thing going into our bodies. I also was researching and found out some information about our immunizations that we get when we're children and all. And I could not believe the number now, when way back in the 80s or whatever, really 70s, 80s, we were not getting as many immunizations. And now they make them do those immunizations. I think they said like 17 different immunizations as opposed to maybe 5 or 6 years ago, or they won't let them go to school. And I know people know there's different avenues and things they can do to bypass that, and a lot of people are homeschooling. But we need, and also this is the important thing, I don't want to run out of time, but I do want to tell you this. As I was reading that, I saw that in 1986 a law was passed that there was a group, I don't remember exactly how it said, but it was a group appointed by the government that they were supposed to be reporting every 2 years on what happened during that time with people who were getting immunizations. In other words, they were supposed to be tracking, if it was beneficial, if there were any harm caused. Do you know to this day that's never been done? Never been done. So how was this group of people, this panel or whatever you want to call it, how were they able to get by with not reporting that since 1986? And again, why weren't they? I'm just saying, we need to ask questions. I'm not against medical. I'm not against doctors. I love my doctors. I go every 6 months and let them check me, and if I need something, I call them and they help me. But I also don't have to go as often, or I'm not sick as often because I am proactive about my health. Do you know I literally am not on, I'm fixing to be 60 years old this year. Proud to tell you that. Happy to be making it to 60. And I am not on one prescription medication. I eat what God gave us to eat. I try to take care of my body. I do what I need to do to help my body. Does that mean I don't cheat sometimes? Of course I do. Sometimes I'll have a little bit of sugar. But I know, and I've learned over the years, that I need to limit that. Sugar causes diseases. Sugar's more addictive than cocaine. We just need to be proactive in our bodies. And then we can do more things. We can live longer and live healthier. And that's what I encourage people to do, is to do that. Looks like I've still got a few minutes, so let me see what else I can talk to you guys about. I keep telling you that I'm going to talk to you a little bit about parasites and things like that. Well, actually, the clock's kind of ticking down, so I still might have to put that on next week, which I'll probably do. So next week, I'm going to be talking to you about parasites, about probiotics, and about our gut, because last week I shared with you about the enzymes, and I want to bring all that together so that you can understand that more. I also want to say real quick, I went to Noelle's art showing. I hope you guys go and see. I believe it's going to be on display until July the 12th at the Dunn Center. It was fabulous. She is a wonderful artist, and I hope to have her back on my show very soon. Thank you so much for being with me here at Well Life with Linda Harris, and I hope you have a great evening. I'm going to be right back with you because I'm going to be joining Linda Prezioso next. Thank you very much.